Hey guys, welcome back and thanks for taking the time to join me. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you a wee Irish shrimp fly, and just a slight variant, and I'll explain that. It's just going to be the rear body's going to be something I'm going to change out. Now this one here that I'm going to tie is called the Falcon Shrimp. Now this is the light version, and this is a good fly for the foil system. If you fish the foil system in the northwest, basically River Row, Faughan, Mourne, Strool, Owen, Derg, good wee fly this. So I'm going to show you how to put it together. I'm going to start off using a uni thread 8 on white, and that's just to keep the back body nice and bright. The hook and the vise is a Partridge Patriot double in size 10 and black nickel. So I'm just going to come in and get the thread started, a couple of mil behind the eye, run on a couple of mil of thread, remove the waist tag. The tag and the rib of the fly, both on the rear and front body, is going to be an oval silver tinsel, and this is an oval silver tinsel in small. So I'm just going to catch this in underneath the hook shank, just work my thread down sort of way until I'm in line or just slightly past the points of the hooks. Then I'm going to come around with 4 turns of the oval silver tinsel, and on the last turn just bring it up and underneath in between the 2 hooks. That locks in your tag. Get into the habit of doing that, trim away the excess. The tail, a golden pheasant breast feather, just a natural red breast feather. Now, just going to stroke the fibres back to reveal the tip. After this up to the hook, around with a couple of turns, going to fold the tip back, tie up over the top of the tip and the hackle. Now at this point I like to bring my thread forward, just gives me room to manoeuvre with my fat fingers. So just going to stroke these fibres back, and I'll use up this wee feather. I'll be lucky if I get 2 turns here. Get it used up. Now, if you watch the videos, I don't get too worried about this tangling around because we can brush that out. I'm just going to hold it with my left index finger, come back in and grab the stem, then come around and catch this in. Now, I want the fly to last, so I like to tie in the stem really tight. Keeping my thread tight, I can break away the stem. At this point I'll come in with my good old Norman Wisdom and just brush out some of the hackle fibres. Now it just saves you catching your fingers on the point. Now on the way back down we'll catch in our rib, just back to the same oval silver tinsel that we used for the tag, and then just going to run this down, tied up against the tail, not onto it, just coming up tied up against it. Now the rear body on the original pattern, you can use a golden olive or a dirty yellow seals fur. This here is a golden olive SLF blended together with gold light bright and glow bright floss number 9. So just going to take a small pinch of this. Now it's easy to dub, it's not hard to dub this, especially with the SLF and the light bright mixed through it. Then we're just going to work this up. Now, this wee fly will test you in relation to your proportions. You got to leave yourself plenty of room because we've veilings on this as well. Then I'm going to come around with my oval silver tinsel. I'm looking 3 turns on the rear body. Catch that round with our thread. A couple of turns will catch that in. Come in and trim away the excess. Now I'm going to put on one of the veilings, just on the top only, some tippet feather. Now this is dyed a fluorescent yellow, this one. Now I want the black bar at the tips coming past the tag. Just hold it on top, come around with a pinch and loop, a couple of turns to secure. Now at this point You can come in and move it about if you wish. Just have a wee check, make sure everything's sitting nice. I'm just going to take another turn. Then I'm going to come in and trim this. Now when I've trimmed that, that gives me my measurement for my hackle. So what I want to do here is then, just to show you, I'll come down about 3 turns to there. Then I'm going to come in with my hackle. Now this is a red game, and you can use a rich red game or a brown hackle, brown cock or a brown hen. Now it's going to 2 turns going to catch that in. I'm going to fold the tip back nice and tight. Now wee feather there, so the wee fibre, just come in and take that away. Don't worry too much about those. Just break away the tip and just stroke this back. And the turns of hackle are up to you, but you don't want to cover your tippet feather, so 2 turns is going to be enough of this, just simply because the fibres are dense. Now just going to keep a hold of the hackle, follow this around with your thread, get a couple of tight turns in, nice and tight, keep the hackle in, then you can keep your thread tight, you can break away the hackle. You can break away your hackles, guys, you'll know that they're well secured in. I'm going to advance my thread forward. Right, leave yourself plenty of room here at the front because we have 2 hackles to go on. Now you can see what I mean, just where I've tied into here, tied the mid hackle on. I've used the tippet feather as a guide of where I want my, just a rough guide of where you want your hackle to end, if you like. Just that's what I do. Now I'm going to come back in with my oval silver tinsel, catch this in underneath again, just come in and hold your hackle back. Now, tan down, tight up against the hackle, not onto it. Now the front body is going to be black seal's fur, so I'm just going to take a small pinch of the black seal's fur and dub that on, and then we'll just bring this up the length of our front body. Then we're going to come round with our oval silver. Same again, 3 turns of the oval silver tinsel. Catch that in. Nice and tight. Come in and trim away your oval silver tinsel. At this point I'm going to come in and change over. Change the thread over to the uni thread 801 black. Then I'll just come in and trim away the white tang thread and the waist end of the black. Back to another tippet feather for the front. Now I want this black tip to be in sort of line with the black tip, the second black bar, if you like. So just hold it there, around with a pinching loop, couple of turns. Now see where we are. Just always check, make sure you're happy. Now I'm just going to pull it in a wee bit, just a wee bit too long there. Okay, I'm happy enough with that. So I'm just going to take a couple of turns to tighten up into it. Come in and trim away the excess. Now, with 2 hackles at the front. The first hackle is a light blue. This is a hen. You can use a light blue cock or a kingfisher blue. Now you can see I've basically decimated that wee cape. I've managed to get 1 hackle that will do the wee fly, and you want to tie this fairly longer, for like a longish type at the front, but longer if you like. Just folding back the tip again, come in and locate the tip, and then we're just going to stroke this back and do 1 turn in front of the other. Now I have another hackle to go on, so I'm just going to put in the 1 turn just to there. I'm going to follow this around with my thread nice and tight, catching in the stem. Forget about everything else at the minute. Looks like a mess, but it'll be grand. Catch that in. Trim away the stem. Just come in and fold everything back. Get it sitting nice. Fold everything back. Bring your thread back up tight against the hackle. Now, we're not looking too bad. We're looking grand. The next hackle, the bodger. So we'll stroke this back. Let me offer this up. A couple of turns. Going to fold the tip back. Bring your thread back up over the tip on the hackle. Nice and tight, and break away the tip. Now you can come in here with your scissors. Just run it up the stem of the hackle. That'll just help the process of folding the fibres back for you. And then you're looking one turn in front of the other. Now, just not happy with the way that's lying onto the fly. So just go back. If you're not happy, just always go back. Don't continue to tie the fly. Right, I'm only looking one more turn here should be enough. Just going to put plenty there. Now just keeping a hold of your stem. Follow this around with your thread. And get a couple of nice tight turns in there. Now at this point, I'm just going to come in and fold everything back. The stem and all, everything, just fold it all back. Just get your nice tight turns of thread in. Keeping your thread tight, you can break away the stem. Yeah, just a wee fibre there. I'm just going to fold it back. Yeah, we're not looking too bad. Now, that's the fly complete. This fly doesn't require jungle cock. It's not in the original pattern, but I've two eyes here on my desk that I have from earlier on. I was tying lock style fly, so that's the two eyes. And I'm just going to use these up, because if I don't, I'll lose them off my desk. And you don't want to be losing jungle cock. Now, I'm just going to offer the jungle cock up to the hook. Come around with a couple of loose turns just to see which way you're sitting. Now, this wee one here, get that sitting nice. It's too short, just pull it out. It can be fiddly at times, but just take your time. You're in no rush. Just want to make sure the length is right. Okay, now I'm happy enough with that, so I'm going to come in and hold the eyes, the two eyes of the jungle cock. I'm going to take two thread turns down. I'm going to fold back the stems. And then I'm going to build up my head. Just nice and tight. Tight with your thread turns. Now if you find your thread slips, just put on a wee bit of wax. I'm just going to break away the stems of the jungle cock. Bit of fluff. And come in and put in a whip finish. Put the thread nice and tight. Come in and trim away the tan thread. Right, there you go guys. That's the Falcon Shrimp, the light version of the Falcon Shrimp. Now, like I say, don't need the jungle cock. Now, I'm just going to come in, first coat onto the head. Just a wee drop of super glue. Just right the whole way right around the head, and then once this dries, I'll come in and put on a couple of coats of varnish just to seal up the head, stop the moisture bloom. But there you go, Now, if you're not from Northern Ireland and you have never fished the foil system is a fantastic system of rivers for Atlantic salmon. Fantastic fisheries. Now, tie that wee fly up if you're thinking about coming over. I would tie that down to a size 12. If I was tying it down to a size 14, I would leave out the mid hackle and just have the tippet and maybe 3 hackles at the front plus the tail. But they tie a few up, hopefully they can catch you a few fish. As always guys, many thanks for taking the time to view the video. I really appreciate it. If you like the wee videos that I'm putting together and you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing. And until next time, please stay safe and take lines.